Is Kat Wendorf. Most of you know me as Lady Travel, and I am excited to be here with you this evening to bring you the latest news offerings and everything travel related. As you know, Monday will be Memorial Day, and that means honoring those brave fallen soldiers that served our great nation. We salute you. The other part of the weekend is for some grillin' and chillin'. That brings me to this website page, Sally's Baking Recipes, jam-packed with Memorial Day recipe ideas. I personally am thinking cobbler. How about you? What are you in the mood for? Now for this week's savory stories. Please be careful to note these are just recaps of the news that we happened upon, and they're not in any way meant to reflect Top Secret Travel or our host agency's views. The first news story that I have for you, the FAA reveals a flaw in another major Boeing plane that could result in the fuel tank exploding. What? Did she just say fuel tank exploding? Yes. The Post reports the aircraft manufacturer discovered that the 777, that's a lot of sevens, liner has poor electrical insulation near its fuel tank. This condition, if not addressed, could result in an ignition source inside the fuel tank and subsequent fire or explosion. This is possibly affecting nearly 300 of Boeing's aircraft across the U.S. In other Boeing news, John Barnett's suicide note was revealed, CBS News reports. The documents released last Friday by police indicate officials have attempted suicide as Barnett's cause of death. Next to him in the passenger seat of the car, they found a note that wrote, "I can't do this any longer, and I pray Boeing pays." The Charleston police spokesperson said in a statement, "It is important to emphasize that our investigation was guided strictly by facts and evidence while remaining undisturbed by conjecture and external pressures." Barnett's mother, Vicki Stokes, told CBS News in April she holds the aircraft manufacturing giant responsible for the grinding treatment that ultimately left her son despondent. Our hearts go out to the Barnett family and to Vicki Stokes. There is one dead and several injured as Singapore Airlines flight hit turbulence this week. On the 20th, the flight SQ321 operating from London Heathrow to Singapore encountered severe turbulence en route and had to divert to Bangkok. An official in Bangkok said the deceased person was a 73-year-old British national who likely suffered a heart attack. Reuters reports 7 people were critically injured with head injuries. The officials added, "We pray for all who were on that flight. It must have been horrible." A Chicago-bound United Airlines Boeing 767 was diverted to Ireland after a passenger got their laptop wedged stuck in the business class seat. United Flight 12 departed Zurich as normal around 10 a.m. on Monday the 19th, but having already passed the west coast of Ireland on its transatlantic route, the pilots were forced to turn back towards Shannon due to an unexpected technical issue. After landing safely in Shannon, engineers are understood to have been able to free the laptop, but by this point, the pilots and flight attendants had already timed out and couldn't legally operate the rest of the flight to Chicago. As a result, the airline was forced to cancel the flight and is trying to reroute at that time the 157 passengers who were on board, and they found themselves unexpectedly stuck in Ireland. So much for the luck of the Irish. A mobile phone or laptop stuck in a seat is an inconvenience for a passenger, but moving the seat in an attempt to retrieve your item will damage possibly the lithium battery and may cause a thermal runaway event or a fire that you don't want to see the damage from. People, don't fool around with your electronic devices while on board. Keep your laptop on your tray or stow it in your overhead bin. That laptop sure caused a bunch of headaches for all on board. Don't be that guy. Panic in Naples this week as an earthquake. Oh, sorry, wrong screen. Panic in Naples this week as an earthquake strikes an active volcano near Naples. On Tuesday, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake struck near the active volcano in the southern Italian port city, forcing hundreds of residents to sleep in tents or cars. Major traffic jams were reported as people tried to flee the area. The civil protection system is involved, and scientists have warned that Camp Flegree, if I'm saying that right, would be catastrophic for 1.5 million people in the region if it were to erupt. In cruise news, so much going on. A sad incident where a 28-year-old Filipino crew member on board the Silversea Cruises Silver Whisper has been arrested after a newborn baby was found deceased in her cabin on May 19th. The baby boy was reportedly on board the ship as early as May 17th, but the woman had concealed both the pregnancy and the birth. The arrest occurred near the province of Grosseto, Italy, east of the island of Corsica. She had been charged with voluntary homicide, and 2 of her cabin roommates were also arrested and similarly charged. All 3 women would have to have actively concealed the baby's existence. It is unknown whether their actions could have deliberately contributed to the baby boy's death. Silversea's own contract with travelers states pregnant women who have entered the 24th week of pregnancy at any time during the cruise should not be eligible to sail on the ship. This is a very sad situation. Civil unrest in New Caledonia forced P&O Cruises and Carnival Cruise Lines Australia to revise their South Pacific itineraries. New voting bills sparked the unrest. It led to widespread unrest in Noumea and surrounding areas. At least 4 people have died, and many vehicles and businesses were destroyed during this time. And the state of emergency in New Caledonia imposed by France is expected to last another week. Australia issued a travel advisory urging people not to travel. Before the pandemic, New Caledonia welcomed about 300,000 cruise guests from Australia each year. A vacation nightmare. Carnival cancels a family's $15,000 cruise by a system glitch. Tiffany Banks, known on TikTok as @thehippiedoc, revealed in a viral video that her family's long-anticipated Carnival cruise was canceled the day before departure. Banks had planned her family vacation with Carnival for over a year. Her excitement turned to disbelief as she received an email notifying her that 2 of her pre-booked excursions had been canceled. This led her to call Carnival. According to the news reports of the story, Banks called Carnival's customer service only to be met with an even more shocking revelation. They said, "Your excursions were canceled because your cabin was canceled," Banks recounted in her video. The customer service representative blamed the cancellation on a system glitch. The original person that I talked to said the system canceled it, and then the second person said the online system had been logged into, meaning the room, had been canceled, she explained. You know, last ship I was on, my excursions were canceled, all of them, and I found out in the app. So check your emails and your app, because my cruise wasn't canceled, but it very well could have been. And this is a horrible way to find out that even your excursions are canceled. The last story I want to share with you today is one that will be a good top secret travel tip for you. There's a new Uber shuttle service that will make your trips to the airport a lot cheaper. More than 700 airports throughout the world will be offering this transportation in the new Uber shuttle. It is already available in Mexico City and some cities in Egypt and India, and it will soon be spreading to select US cities. This is an Uber bus that you can reserve seats on. Not only to and from the airport, folks, but also concerts and game venues there and back. So picture this. It will serve the big amphitheaters in Chicago, Charlotte, Pittsburgh, and Miami's Hard Rock Stadium, which is home to the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins. To book an Uber shuttle, open the app and enter your destination. You can then select the shuttle option. Make sure the fare works for you. Select your preferred pickup timing, select the number of seats, maximum 3, and then tap request. You can book your ride up to a week in advance, and you heard it first from Lady Travel. We appreciate you listening today, and we hope this channel brings you the content and the information that you as a consumer need to make your informed travel decisions, such as where to go, when to go, and how much to spend on your travel planning. We encourage you to like and subscribe if this gave you some value today, and tell your friends and coworkers all about us. Please go out, shop for your cruise, your hotel, and destination travel, and then send your information over in an email to info@topsecrettraveltips.com and see if we can't match or give you an upgrade or a perk for booking with us. I assure you, you will be happy that you did. Until next time, travel like a king or a queen. Ciao.